6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister and his Chinese counterpart at a meeting in Beijing have expressed satisfaction at the positive trajectory of Pakistan-China relations. Pakistan and China have signed multiple cooperation agreements across various sectors. The Information Minister has invited the Chinese social media influencers to explore Pakistan's culture and vast tourism potential. The Asian Development Bank has pledged unwavering support for Pakistan's renewable energy initiatives. The United Nations Secretary General has expressed deep sorrow over the loss of life and property caused by devastating floods in Pakistan. India's Supreme Court has refused the interim bail to senior Hurriyat leader Shabbir Ahmad Shah despite his deteriorating health. And now the news in detail. Pakistan and China have reaffirmed the shared resolve to further strengthen the ironclad all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. The affirmation came during a meeting between the Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif and the Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Beijing today. Both the leaders expressed satisfaction at the positive trajectory of Pakistan-China relations. The Prime Minister expressed his deepest gratitude to the Chinese leadership and the nation for their unflinching support to Pakistan's territorial integrity, sovereignty and socio-economic development. Shehbaz Sharif paid rich tribute to China's impressive transformation under President Xi Jinping's visionary leadership. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to deepening ties with China and emulating its development successes. He credited China's strong support for the positive outcomes of Pakistan's ongoing reform efforts and announced plans to float panda bonds in the Chinese market. Both the sides agreed to advance CPAC's second phase, focusing on 5 new corridors. Shehbaz Sharif stressed the potential for business-to-business investment, particularly in agriculture, minerals, textiles, industry, and information technology, citing the recent business-to-business conference with over 800 companies. He also expressed support for President Xi Jinping's global initiatives and said both the nations will mark 75 years of diplomatic relations next year. The two leaders attended a signing ceremony for multiple cooperation agreements across various sectors. China's Minister of Industry and Information Technology, Li Liqiang, called on the Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif in Beijing today. The Prime Minister reiterated Pakistan's vision of deepening bilateral cooperation with China in industry, agriculture, trade, information communication technology, mining and minerals. He termed CPAC as central pillar of Pakistan's socio-economic development. Admiring the Prime Minister's economic reforms agenda, Li Liqiang emphasized that China regarded Pakistan as an ironclad brother and all-weather strategic cooperative partner. He expressed China's firm resolve to elevate bilateral relations with Pakistan to new heights of cooperation and collaboration. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Ataullah Tarer, has termed Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's visit to China as highly significant. Speaking to the media after the opening session of Pakistan-China Business-to-Business Investment Conference in Beijing today, he said the Prime Minister holds deep respect for the Chinese President Xi Jinping, considering him a role model, and meetings with Chinese leadership during the visit were extremely warm and cordial. The minister pledged to enhance social media and media collaborations, ensuring greater exchange between young influencers of both the countries. He also extended an invitation to the Chinese social media influencers to explore Pakistan's culture, information technology sector, and vast tourism potential. Ataullah Tarer emphasized that bilateral trade is expanding rapidly, with Pakistani manufacturers eager to access the Chinese market and Chinese businesses exploring opportunities in Pakistan. The Asian Development Bank has pledged unwavering support for Pakistan's renewable energy initiatives. The assurance was given by the delegation of the Asian Development Bank, led by its Director Energy, Jun Ho Huang, which called on the Minister for Power, Sardar Awais Ahmed Khan Laghari. During the meeting, the minister appreciated Asian Development Bank's continued support, especially in promoting the public-private partnership model and integrated energy planning. He informed that in the first phase, 3 distribution companies will be privatized, where both investment and technical assistance will be welcomed. Sardar Awais Ahmed Khan Laghari emphasized the government's focus on clean energy, including a new electric vehicle tariff, early shutdown of 2,800 megawatt fossil fuel plants, and efforts to access green financing and carbon credits. Asian Development Bank's Yun Ho Huang said $130 million have been approved for Pakistan's energy sector, out of which an initial amount of $30 million is immediately available. He pledged assistance in privatization, carbon market development, modernizing energy infrastructure, and expanding renewable energy projects. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed deep sorrow over the loss of life and property caused by the devastating floods in Pakistan. In a statement, his spokesperson Stefan Dujarric conveyed solidarity with the government and people of Pakistan and extended heartfelt condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the flood. The Secretary General also praised the Pakistani authorities for successfully relocating over 1 million people in the Punjab. Additionally, Emergency Relief Coordinator Tom Fletcher has allocated $600,000 from the Regional Humanitarian Pool Fund to aid relief and recovery efforts, while discussions with the government continue on formulating a comprehensive response plan. Pakistan and Qatar have reaffirmed shared commitment to peace and stability at the regional and global levels. The commitment has been expressed at a meeting between the Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee, General Sahir Shamshad Mirza, and the Deputy Prime Minister of Qatar, Sheikh Saud bin Abdurrahman bin Hassan bin Ali Al Thani. The Chief of the Staff of Qatar Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Pilot Jassim Mohammed Ahmed Al-Manai, was also present on the occasion. Both the sides discussed ways to enhance cooperation in defense and security domains within the ambit of Higher Military Cooperation Committee. The Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee highlighted the historic brotherly ties between both the nations and discussed the future dimensions of cooperation in defense and security domains within the ambit of Higher Military Cooperation Committee. The civil and military leadership of Qatar acknowledged Pakistan's role in ensuring regional stability and appreciated sacrifices of the Pakistan Armed Forces in the fight against terrorism. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Pakistan is providing over 105 tons of relief goods for earthquake-affected people in Afghanistan. The relief consignment includes ration bags, tents, blankets, mats, and medicines. The aid is being sent via 5 container trucks through the Torkham border into Afghanistan. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, nearly 10,000 people have been evacuated from Budgam and adjoining Srinagar areas after incessant rains caused a major breach in the Jhelum embankment, triggering flood threats across the valley. According to Kashmir Media Service, the entire neighborhoods, including Lasjan, Soetang, Naugam, Vijaypura, Golpura, Badshahi Bagh, and Mehjur Nagar, were asked to move to safer places after repeated announcements were made through mosques and local committees. The rains have also forced the closure of schools and universities across the occupied territory. At least 7 Kashmiri labourers from Tulel, Bandipora are feared dead after a massive landslide struck Himachal Pradesh Kulu district. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court of India has refused interim bail to senior Hurriyat leader Shabbir Ahmed Shah, despite his deteriorating health in a case filed by the notorious National Investigation Agency. Analysts have said Shabbir Ahmed Shah's continued detention, coupled with raids, arrests, and property seizures, proves how New Delhi has weaponized its judiciary and agencies to suppress the Kashmiri struggle for United Nations recognized inalienable right to self-determination. 47 Palestinians were martyred by the Israeli forces in Gaza today. The martyrdom toll of Palestinians in the Israeli aggression since October 2023 in Gaza has reached over 63,700. cricket. In the T20 International Tri-Series, Pakistan will take on the United Arab Emirates in Sharjah today. The match will start at 8 in the evening. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, partly cloudy weather with rain thunderstorm may occur at isolated places in northeast Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.